Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching from in the world. I am Jennifer, Mystic Jenn, your host, in tonight's feature of the Idaho 4. I welcome in all my sleuths, all my tarot detectives. What are we covering tonight? Well, recently, Drip Drop put out a video about the police officer that was taking a photo of Kalee's ID. If I can find a clip of that, I will put it in. Okay. Otherwise, we're just going to get on with the reading. But it seems like when he was called out there on some kind of noise disturbance or something like that, that cop was standing there taking a picture of Kalee's ID. Why? Good question. I've never seen a cop do that, by the way. Have you? There's other body cam footage of Linda Lane at the frat house. And that cop was called there for underage drinking. Not one single photograph was taken of anybody's ID. So why Kalee's? So that's what we're going to get into tonight. Okay, and I am just starting right out the gate. I got my card. Those cards shuffled. We're going to start with 1111 True Crime Oracle. No, we're not. My guides are saying, nope. We're going to start with a Major Arcana. Nice. No, we don't want that one. This is the one we want. Okay. You know, right when I think I know what I'm doing, it changes at the last minute. Sorry. I know, you're anxious to get in. We're going to start with a theme about the cop's energy. First of all, using a Major Arcana, we're going to get his energy. Show me the overall energy of this police officer that took Kalee's ID. Okay, we have our card. And it is the High Priestess. Okay. Or the High Priest, rather, it's the High Priest. I'm sorry. But it came out in the reverse. I'm going to take into account, I always like to take this card upright for sure. But I'm going to take into account the High Priest is dedicated and devoted. He is honest. He is about higher learning also. Teaching, especially in a spiritual sense. I'm not necessarily seeing the college. But what about religious organizations in that area? I know of one. Thank you to one of my besties. You know who you are. Was saying that there are 3 of this one denomination in Moscow, Idaho. Look it up. I don't want to call out certain religions necessarily. But there's a lot of polygamists in this religion. That's all that I'm going to say. Okay? But it's like this police officer, thank you, Spirit, just told me. Spirit just told me. The reason why it was coming out in the reverse was because this police officer hides behind his religion. He kind of portrays himself as Christian and honest, you know, Christ-loving, etc. But he hides behind it. It almost makes me think of fake. Allegedly speaking, and this is a good time for me to say, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. This is just my opinion. I am just a blonde throwing cards. And this is my belief, what I believe the cards are telling me. Okay. But keep in mind, this is a tarot reading. And nothing here is based on fact. And same with this. Not based on fact, just what I believe. I believe he is fake. Could I be wrong? Maybe. Maybe not. It's my opinion, my belief. Okay? But I believe he hides behind religion. I'm a good guy. I go to church. That's what I get. And not only that, what else does the Hierophant remind me of, represent in my readings? Head of the organization. In the reverse, it's almost like, and I said the High Priestess in the beginning for a reason. I don't believe everything is a Freudian slip. Sometimes I screw things up and I say the wrong name of the card, but I know what I'm holding in my hand and I know what I'm reading. Okay? But the High Priestess is somebody with secret knowledge. You know, does he have secret knowledge that he's hiding and being dishonest about? Just saying. I'm asking you a question. Okay. Now we could get into the 1111 True Crime Oracle and see what it has to say. What other information? And this is from messages from our ancestors, spirit guides, ascended masters, and our whole soul tribe, those of the white light. Okay. Okay. Wow, this one just wanted to fly out. And I shit you not. Yeah, that's one of my famous sayings. And you know I'm on to something when I get a card and I say I shit you not. Revenge. So what kind of revenge, I'm wondering, did this police officer have? Or was he acting on behalf of somebody that he knows who may have been traveling from afar? That he may like maybe a family member, or was he friends with somebody, friend of a family member, you know? And that could be movement. The movement, that particular movement, that particular action of taking her picture of her driver's license is telling me Kalee was a target. There was revenge, motive. Okay? And this feels like this police officer jealous. Holy shit. There was revenge and jealousy. We got ego here twice. Spite. And I've said it all along that there is more than one motive here. In the 4. More than one. More than one killer. Multiples. 3, maybe 4. Who did this? Because I even saw another YouTuber who like gives his opinion. I forget his name. I was watching him. And he does things on what makes sense. You know, it doesn't make sense how one person can go up to the top floor and nobody below hear anything. And in 15 minutes, take out 2 people in that room. And you knew where the rooms were, right? Take 2 people out. You would think while one person's being taken out, the other person's trying to fight, jumping on their back or doing something. You know, you would hear it. You would know it was a struggle. You would think there would be screaming. People yelling, call 911. You know, you would think that it would be total chaos. And then to quietly go down the steps and go into the second bedroom where Xana and Ethan were. It makes no sense. And to do all that in 15 minutes quietly, and it just makes no sense. And that's why even logically there had to be more than one. And this is pointing out Kalee. Kalee was a target, according to what I see here so far. Somebody was jealous of her. They wanted revenge for something here. They were rather willing to take some sort of movement. Probably traveled. They traveled, by the way. So they may not have been from the area, but they are associated with this police officer. And it feels like a favor. Okay, let me get Kalee's address, all her vitals and stuff. I'll take a snapshot of her photo ID. That's what it feels like. Okay. Let's keep on going with the tarot. I was drawn to this deck for whatever reason. I don't use the Shower Machete decks very often. I used to. At one point I bragged that I had every deck he created. I no longer brag that because my taste changed, right? My taste in cards, but this one I've had for a long time in my collection, and it was calling me. There was another Shower Machete deck that I thought I was going to use, and when I went to grab it, I was drawn to this one instead. Okay. Let's do a cut. Okay. We're going to ask a series of questions. Okay. What was the Cup's energy? 3 of Cups. That was a celebrating. That was a party. So, he showed up there because of the party that was going on. Okay. And why did he take her driver's license? Knight of Wands. That's interesting. That's that travel card. That's that movement card. That is swift. It feels like swift action on the police officer's part. And it feels like I'll get it and get out of here. The Knight of Wands is somebody who's really fired up. Somebody who's really ambitious. Somebody who is fighting to make it to the top. And that's what I feel like this police officer was doing. He wanted to be in good graces. He wanted to move up the ranks. So he goes to this party because there's a lot of noise, a lot of partying, a lot of rowdiness. And he sees this as an opportunity. The Knight of Wands is an opportunist. Okay. So, the blockage. What is blocking us from finding the true motive? And I didn't even get the full question out. Two of Swords. That's a stalemate. Okay? That is not wanting to deal with it, a lack of acknowledgement. Not acknowledging that could be some key evidence. Thank you, Drip Drop, for bringing it out. But that is lack of acknowledgement, lack of knowledge, not knowing. That's the blockage. Not knowing to look for that. Okay? That's why, that is the blockage of getting the truth about this particular officer. Okay. What was the root cause? The root cause of him going there. Wheel of Fortune. Divine timing. The Wheel of Fortune. The winds of change. That is an opportunity. Moving the wheel forward. A fortunate opportunity for whoever's above him. Whoever he was getting this information for. This is about the person that is connected to that particular officer, allegedly speaking, who was full of revenge and spite, who may not have even been around at the time that photo was taken. But there seems to be some planning here. So what was influencing this police officer at this time to take that photograph? What was the influence over the officer in taking that picture? Two of Cups, another two. An emotional connection. So this was either a family member or close friend who really needed a photo of Kalee's ID. And that was the emotions of it all, was influencing this police officer to take a picture of her ID to help somebody out. And it was a fortunate stop. It felt like luck was on their side, that this particular officer was the one called to 1122 Queen Road, to the site of that party that was going on. It was like divine timing, in their opinion, that this police officer was at the right place at the right time. Fortunate. Something that's coming to me, it's not here. That happens a lot when I read on the Idaho 4. I don't know why. Okay. Anyhow, as I was saying, something was telling me that it's like I feel like the thought left my mind. I was saying, we'll see if it comes out in the past influence. Oh, what was coming to me was I was wondering if that police officer changed shifts with somebody or was covering for someone. Is another officer who would normally have been on patrol called off, or they switched shifts or something like that. I was feeling that maybe something, I was feeling that was why this Wheel of Fortune came out. A lucky break. This is my chance to help out my loved one. Two of Cups. It's not a necessarily pure business association. Two of Cups is suggesting emotional connection to somebody. that was influencing this. Okay. Okay, Lee, right before, we're going to ask, right before the police officer went to the house, what was going on? Three of Wands. Expectations. Waiting. You know, this is like waiting on that divine timing, waiting for that perfect opportunity. And this officer gets that lucky break, gets that call. Okay? And feels like, okay, this is the break I've been waiting on. And I just want to ask as a side note, Spirit knew what my question was. I didn't get it out of my mouth yet, but it was in my mind. Before I turn this card over, my question was going to be, did he switch with somebody? Son of a bitch if he didn't. Two of Pentacles. There was a switch. He wasn't supposed to be working that day or that particular shift. Two of Pentacles is balancing, going back and forth. There was a change in the work schedule, covering for somebody else, or an exchange, a change of who was covering that time at that particular time. I knew it. Now we have 3 twos here. What is missing is the Two of Wands, the planning. And when you have 3 of the same number, we have 3 out of 4 of a particular number, or a court card or whatever, the one that's missing is very loud. The Two of Wands is planning, and it is missing here. It's not being displayed because, I mentioned another 2, the High Priestess, in the very beginning, when I meant to say the Hierophant or the priest, okay? Secret planning. I'm telling you, they were already planning the event on November 13th, 2022. And this was part of it. Someone needed Kalee's ID or something from Kalee's ID. Okay. Now, after the police officer snapped a picture of her photo, what happened? What did he do next? What did that officer do next after snapping that picture, that photo? Three of Coins. Working together as a team. It was teamwork. Let me get a qualifying card. Did he contact them? Did he make a phone call? Did he make a phone call? Or text or something, some kind of communication. Oh, they don't want to answer. Did he make some kind of communication? Finally. 7 of Cups. Options. Emotional options. What do I do with this? There was working with a team, and it's under cloud. It's under smoke and mirrors right now. There is confusion around to what that real motive was, but it does. Confusion about who the team is. What team? Okay. The cards do not want to tell right now, or Spirit does not want to say exactly who he was working with. I have an idea, but the cards aren't coming out and just saying it. It has to do with that Hierophant, though. And it feels like an energy of someone not looked at yet. Put a pin in that one. Okay, what was this officer's perspective on Kalee and his loved one? What was this officer's perspective at the time? Knight of Swords. Get in there, get the photo, get the fuck out. This is somebody who is on a mission. Being very mentally focused, like tunnel vision. This is somebody who is, I've got one task to do, one job to do. I'm running in there really fast, throwing my weight around, snapping the picture of her ID, and I'm getting the fuck out. That's the Knight of Swords. That was his perspective. I don't know why my camera is acting up like that tonight. It usually does. It hasn't done this in a long time. And this is an important subject, and my camera keeps stopping. So I hope that you're able to follow along. We had the house. The fish. Boy. Blood. Iceberg. Girl. And Saturn. This is going to grow cold because of the demolition of the house, causing restrictions to blood of Xana and Ethan that are still in that house. My, oh my. Now let's hope my camera still keeps up. I can't believe it has stopped as many times as it has. And I don't get it. It hasn't done that for so long. And it wasn't like I've been using the webcam either. I've shut my computer down. So I don't know why it's doing that. Kidnapped in the reverse. Love. That is somebody who felt kidnapped, who felt captured who felt their heart was bound up. But in the reverse, this is somebody releasing themselves from a love connection. No longer trapped. Trapped in the reverse. And that's Kalee's energy. She felt trapped. Climate change. And that changed everything. We got that iceberg here. Somebody grew icy cold. And that was probably Loverboy. His heart got cold. That he was being released. Because Kalee felt trapped. And that changed the climate. That changed Loverboy's perspective. Allegedly speaking. Legal proceedings. Legal proceedings is a decision. Being judged. Accomplice. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Okay. You know what, folks? there could be some evidence come out. But because of the climate change between Kalee and Loverboy, then we had somebody got burned by that family. Loverboy was close to that family, probably knew all about it, and became an accomplice, a partner in crime. And there, folks, allegedly speaking, just what I believe, what I feel, my opinion, I dropped the mic.